Hi, welcome to the Power SQL tutorial training. In this video, we will be discussing the where clause. The SQL where clause is used to specify a condition while fetching the data from a single table or by joining the multiple tables. Please note that if the given condition in a where clause is satisfied, then it will return the specific values from the database table. Let's create entries in our data table students and then use the where clause to fetch some data. First, let's take a look at our students table. In our student table currently we have 5 records. Now we want to look at an example of the where clause. Now let's select all users. Let's select all students. Where the age of the student is less than 25 years old. So this is an example of the where clause. I'm using the where clause to specifically pick out students that are lesser than 25 years of age. Now let's click on the go button to view the returned results. Here we can see that only 2 students was selected. Habib with the age of 22 and Wumi that is 19 years of age. This is how the where clause works in SQL. Now let's consider the AND operator. The AND operator allows the existence of multiple conditions in an SQL statement where clause. Let's take a look at an example. Now, imagine that I want to select records from my database where the age is less than 25 and the ID of the users is less than 3. I can achieve this using the AND operator. Let's take a look at the example. Use students where age is less than 25 and ID is less than 3. By doing this, I'm using the AND operator to check for multiple conditions. This will only return a result if the 2 conditions are met. Now let's click on Go. This will only return a result that meets the 2 conditions stated. Now let's click on the Go button. As we can see, only 1 record is returned, and this is simply because the ID of Habib is 2, which is less than 3, and his age is 22, which is also less than 25. Now, let's take a look at the like clause. The SQL like clause is used to compare a value to similar values using wildcard operators. When using the like clause, there are two wildcard operators, the percentage sign and the underscore. The percentage sign represents 0, 1 or multiple characters, while the underscore represents a single number or character. These symbols can be used in combinations. Let's take a look at an example. Now, let's select all from students, where age like 2, then the percentage sign. By doing this will return all students that their age starts with the value of 2. Now let's click on the Go button to view our results. Now, if we look at our results, we have 3 records, which means that these 3, if we check their age properly, we'll discover that the first digit starts with 2. That is what our query will return. Now, let's look at the order by clause. The SQL order by clause is used to sort data in ascending order or descending order based on one or more columns. Let's take a look at an example of order by. Let's select all records from our student table, then order the results by their age. Order by age. Now let's click on the Go button. Now if you take a look at the results, we will notice that we are no longer using the ID to order our data again, but rather the age is used to order our data. This is how the order by works. By default, the order by uses the ascending order to order the data entry. To use the descending order, we'll use the DESC. Let's see that using an example. I want to order by age in descending order. Then I'll add DESC and then click on the Go button. Now, if you take a look at the result is being ordered by the age in descending order. Next, we'll take a look at the group by query. The SQL group by clause is used in collaboration with the select statement to arrange identical data into groups. This group by clause follows the where clause in the select statement and precedes the order by clause. Let's take a look at an example. Before we go into our example, let's take a look at the changes made to the students table. In the students table, we now have 2 users with the age of 19. Likewise, 2 students with the age of 22. Now, let's write our example. Now, before we consider our example, let's look at this following table. This is a score table of students. We will be using this for our group by example. Now, let's select all students, all scores. Now, let's use the group by to find the total score of each student. Here, I will select the name of the student and also the total of their score column. And then group by the name of the student. Now let's click on the Go button to test our result. Here, from the result, we will see that in our database table we have 3 students and the total score of Bola is 33, while the total score of Joseph is 28 and the total score of Olu is 49. This is how the group by works in SQL. In the next video, we will talk about how to use joins and other advanced SQL query operations.